The biggest, the strongest, the most powerful creatures that have ever walked the earth. And so distinctive and majestic beasts that it will be a crime not to add it in a dinosaur survival game. And that's happening already. The isle added throughout its development three sauropods being Pew, Kama, and Brachie. Beast of Bermuda has a Pato, and Pass of Titans has Amarga. Oh, you poor thing. But Argentinosaurus and Ankylosaurus are available as mods. In the case of Prior Extinction, it has Diplodocus and Apatosaurus. Acanthocaudea is more of a made-up creature, but still a sauropod. And Brachie is gonna be the last sauropod to be added, and, in Jaco's words, it's not gonna be fun. It's more of a flex, a weird one at that. In these kinds of creatures are regarded as boring, overpowered, toxic, or just gatekeepers. So there's a question. Why are sauropods in these kinds of games? Sauropods are a hard to balance topic because, if done incorrectly, they are almost the most annoying creatures to grow, to battle as and against, or end up being the worst waste of resources, time, and sanity only to get something slow, vulnerable, and objectively bad, or are the strongest, most overpowered creatures in the game, unable to be killed. The thing is, many people don't realize that there are big sauropods and small to medium. For example, Diplodocus, massive beast, 10 to 16 ton behemoth, one of the biggest and most toxic. But right now, they can only live in floodplains, especially on the cascading the border between Fern West and Redwoods, where acros can't enter, aloes barely travel to, as well as torvos, and there's plenty of food and the predators that often live there, like Suco or Ichthyi, are Suco and Ichthyi. Also, it's almost impossible to see a Diplo alone. They are usually in megahertz, making it impossible to hunt them in a pack as their main predators. Also, for some reason, after the latest update, there are a lot of loggers afraid of death, especially big herbivores like paras, stegos, and of course diplos. Sauropods are not an enjoyable creature to grow as, to fight as, and are extremely boring for the majority of players. And you can see that because diplos just charge at anything that gets close to them. For some reason being the teenagers and subadults the main perpetrators of these stampedes. The point is, sauropods are one of, if not the most boring to play as in these kinds of games. Almost no one wants to attack you and you are extremely slow. When you spawn, overly protected, that is. Even with all these problems, the boringness, the tediousness, the slower version of an already slow-paced growth mechanic, people still play as these beasts. Why? Is there anything enjoyable of playing something slow, almost invincible, and very restricted in mechanics? Well, yeah. There are people who just want to be the biggest and be untouchable. More power to you, I guess. But if that was the only reason, there would be a lot more sauropods than there are now. If you had to wait 126 minutes to get these stats, or just wait 20 minutes more and get this, yeah, there's a good difference. So there has to be other reasons, right? Sauropods are like a milestone, one of the most important ones that every player reaches. Before Morrison 2.0, Diplo was debatably the strongest dinosaur in the game, and megahertz and mega mixhertz were protected by them. So the amount of power felt was so gratifying. They also fill an important role in the ecosystem and in the economy, being them the main protectors and gatekeepers of certain resources, food sinks, and, regarding the economy, amber sinks. There's also something else, something primal in our instincts, a need that every prior extinction has, something that I feel everyone can agree that is the best part of having sauropods in the game. The money! No, no, no. No, it's not the money. Fighting with a partner against a sauropod is a loss. I mean, it would be stupid for two Allosaurus killing a 14-ton animal, or two Acros doing the same but with something over twice its size. But fighting with your pack against that titan is the best experience that Prior Extinction, or any dinosaur game for that matter, has to offer for the predators and for the prey. If there aren't some crybabies. A coordinated pack against an experienced sauropod is one of the most amazing fights you can ever be a part of or even just sit and watch. Don't believe me? Go to Craglands or Fern West and look for an acropack fighting an adult apado. Guaranteed that you will see many spectators watching the hunt unfold. These hunts can last minutes and even almost an hour if they just feel like it. Checking on your health and stamina, time your attacks, and all the roars that you hear is just so amazing. Players enjoy these kinds of feelings. People in general always get fascinated by these fights, like lions bringing down an adult giraffe. The devs make sure to add sauropods as well as sauropod hunters like Acro or Allo that don't specialize in raw damage, but in bleed and infection to make these fights last a lot until either the predator surrenders and retreat, or the prey finally dies and helps feeding the pack and a lot more creatures. I don't know about y'all, but every time there's a dead Diplo or a Pato, almost every carnivore makes a truce and feeds on the carcass. Sauropods are an icon in dinosaur games that, although considered boring, overpowered, and toxic, are an important part of the ecosystem of these games, an important milestone, and an incredible spectacle for everyone involved. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna focus on these kinds of video essays for this game. If you want another topic for me to discuss about Prior Extinction or any other animal survival game, please put it in the comments. Thanks once again, and feo el que lo lea.